So today on this video, I want to speak about when you don't feel needed and how you can get through it, the reasons why you're probably feeling that way, and just simply why you may be feeling in this zone, and really to identify with any changes that you can do and make sense of why you're feeling in this particular state. I'll see you after the intro. So boom, welcome back. My name is Jay, and of course I'm from Karnak Holistics, where we learn together, and what do? We grow together in the sight of God. So today, as I mentioned earlier in the beginning of the video, why we may not feeling needed or wanted. Now, we do go through this no matter who you are, no matter what position you hold in life, whether you are wealthy, poor, or if you have loads of friends around you, you go through this, and it's about finding your way through and why you may feel this way. There's many reasons why you may feel this way, but above all, why you're in this state, and it brings on this dark entity within yourself that you feel like you've been abandoned. You may be feeling that you're not loved anymore, that you don't have any surplus to supply, that the people around you don't no longer need you. You know what? The reality is, you know what it is really, deep down, it's actually a reset button. It's a reset button of you. It's a reset button of you to take stock of what's going on around you, for you to look at your own links with yourself and with those who sit with you or are with you. Now, if you look at when you are going through this darker time, and you may be in a situation where your your kids may have left home, and they've gone off to college, or they may have gone off to university, they may have gone and got a job, and you're like a single mum or dad, so you feel, where do I go from here? Been in both situations, and it's like you've done everything for them, or you've done everything for the family for the last 15, 20 years, and now it's like, what do I do now? You don't know, you're outside the remit of life, you're outside the remit of what your normal life would be. And it's really scary, and I get it. And again, as I said, I've been to that point when my kids growing up, and they got really independent, really young, and it's a testimony to you as an individual when these kids grow up and they can start to function on their own. There's not just that element of it. There's another element to why you may feel in a way unloved, or feel out of place, or feel not needed. Now, that could be for the fact is that friends have now moved on, and you have now come into another sense of awareness, and that these friends that were close to you no longer want you around, or are not giving you the attention, or you may not feel a part of them. And you're thinking, what the hell's going on with me? Am I losing it? Is it me? Is it them? Is it the situation? Why has it come now? Because you know what? You probably agree, it always seems to come at the wrong time in your life. It always seems to come when things are going really well, and then it just like boom, and it just stops, and you analyze everything again. What do I do now? And you go through, you could say it's a mini dark night of the soul. You could say it's just for a season. But when you're in that zone, right, when you're there, and I call it a zone because I believe it's an emotional pit stop. So it's when you're stopping, as I said earlier, to assess everything. And you think, okay, what have I done? Don't fight against it. Please do not fight against it. Look at why you are in this state. Analyze where you are. Analyze what you're about. Analyze what's been going on for you. And when you do that, you can see the chinks or the links in each of these motions that you've been going through. So you may be going through these links and these changes, but you may not understand why you are feeling this way. And before I go on, they're still doing fireworks. It's like the 2nd of November now, so people are still doing fireworks around here, and it's been blasting off the last couple of days. So though these changes are still going on, and you may be feeling that you're not belonging to anything, and you may be in that rut in your life, as I mentioned, it could be a part of the dark night of the soul, but I believe it's an emotional reset. It's a part of where you're now learning to become the next version of you. And you've heard me say you to become a better version of you. And when you become that better version of you and you then begin to shift, and then you get to, when you are analyzing what you've been through and why you are in this zone at the moment, it really equates to what your next phase of your life is going to be. It opens up new doors and overcomes barriers that you may have faced in the past. This is why we say look at your past and analyze where you've been and where you're going or where you are right now. Changes are always happening, and these changes are happening now and will continue to happen. But if you don't look at these changes or why you are here now and where you come from A to B to get to C, you're going to keep going from A to B, A to B, A to B, A to B, and you won't no longer go on to C. It's like opening up a Pandora's box. There's no rough key to it, but just to own it. When you begin to own it, when you begin to go, okay, well, this is my shit, this is what I'm doing, this is what I need to do, this is where I'm going, things changed. I mean, when I was younger and I was about 8 and I saw my mum have her first heart attack, I woke up in the middle of the night and I went into her bedroom and my dad was on the phone to the ambulance and nobody else was there. And I remember her whole clutching her chest and she wasn't in a good way. And I fell apart. And I went over to her and then she was holding on to me. Then my dad moved out of the way. The ambulance turned up and took her away. And I had to go back to bed. I don't remember anything after that until the following day when obviously family were around and neighbours visited and they were just like consoling me and my dad saying, Jason, witnessed everything. I think then, why did I have to see that? And I honestly believe it was to ready me for the future. My mum survived, by the way. She survived the fast heart attack. She lived another 10 years or more than that even. Another 10 years. No, 11 years. And but for her reset button was that she lost all this weight. She looked amazing when she returned. She was in a better space. But I believe that mum didn't see why the reset button happened because she fell back into those processes of living in the same life. And above all, the family didn't give her the 110% support she needed as she was going on because she again went back into the kitchen. Again, she was had all this pressure on her and all that. But all this goes back to reset button. The same with me. When I had my stroke, it was my reset button for me to analyze where I was going, what I wanted to do, what was important. No, I don't want to work in a corporate environment that was full of people, airheads who I'm not saying everybody's like that, but I didn't want to work in the environment I was in that was negative and all they were thinking about was themselves. And even though I made them so much money, when I was ill, no one in that office came to see me, bar one person, my best friend. Actually two people. My other friend, but one person was always there. The others, didn't see them for shit. Which was a reset button for me to realize these pricks weren't worth it. And moving forward now, of course, I'm not surrounded by them. Only the ones that were there, as I mentioned earlier. But moving forward, when you are putting that reset button of not feeling wanted, you begin to unravel this stuff in your life, and you equate to where you are in your life right now. And when you equate to this point, and then you make those motions, and you go through your valley, and you come out the other end, and you look back, and you go, look, okay, I managed to get through it. I'm a better person for it. It is a season. It is a season, and with that, for me, if I didn't go through these dark valleys, I could not do the work that I do and talk from the position of to have this information, even though I'm linked to spirit as strongly as I am. But these evidence-based examples of dealing with emotion, dealing with life-threatening illnesses, dealing with families almost dying, dealing with death, dealing with anger, dealing with in some way abuse, all these things. If I don't see, feel it, or come across it, it'll be hard to get across to other people that I'm working with. Go, I understand. I really do understand. I really do understand. And especially when it comes to the mental health part of it, it is a key thing, because it is a reset button. It's a reset button for you to really analyze and to shift your shit forward. It is really imperative that you look at it that way, and then you start to go, okay, well, I'm here now. I can go to the left, to the right, or which direction, which door I want to choose, and we can create. Remember, I'll go back to what it is. I'm going back to what I'm saying. When you're in that situation and you're feeling, you're in that dark place and you're doing your reset and you're not feeling loved, have gratitude that you're getting this, because God remembers you because you're going through this. When you go through it and you get at the other end, be joyful, and you look back and you can tell people, you know what, I've got through the valley, and you're at the other end, and you're learning all these different things. But it's important that when you're in that motion, you're in that situation and nothing's shifting, you should be aware that things are going to shift for you, and you should be happy, but go through all the emotions, because you're being blessed as you're going through this, because as you're going through the valley, you're not left in the valley alone. You have the support that you need. So do not be afraid. You always remember that there's always two set of footprints, then goes to one, then goes back to two again. So I'm going to end it on that, and I'll see you in the next video, which I'm going to try and probably do tomorrow. But I want you to look after yourselves. Enjoy your week, and I hope your weekend was good. Stay blessed, stay safe. Look after others, but most of all, look after yourself. Namaste.